What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City preview. Today we're going to be doing Manchester City's preview for our FA Cup 5th round away match taking on Luton Town. Before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiries, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 100 likes is the aim, and do get your thoughts in the comments below, including your score and team prediction for this game. Finally, this video is sponsored and brought to you by BetMate. There is no pot running for this game, however, you can still go and check out some FA Cup special pots that they do have running, including some both teams to score and result-based pots with lots of big prizes. So do go and check them out. Links and details there in the description. So, going to crack on with this preview. We're going to start with the match information. This game taking place at Kenilworth Road again in the FA Cup for the 5th round, taking place on Tuesday 27th of February 2024 with an 8 PM GMT kickoff time, with the game being broadcast live on ITV1 here in the United Kingdom. Anybody heading to Kenilworth Road, do have a safe trip and do have a great time. So there is no replays for the FA Cup 5th round. If this match finishes level after 90 minutes, it will go into extra time, and if we're still level after extra time, it will go to penalties. Luton Town are our opponents for the 5th round. They formed in 1885, find themselves in the Premier League, currently find themselves 18th with a game in hand. They did knock out Bolton Wanderers in the 3rd round via a replay, and then did knock out Everton away from home in the 4th round. They're led by manager Rob Edwards, who in my opinion doing a great job with Luton Town with such a small budget. In terms of their form though, lost the last 3 games, not won in 4 games. They did beat Brighton and Hove Albion 4-0 at home 5 games ago. They then followed up with a draw against Newcastle 4-4 before a 3-1 loss against Sheffield United at home, which wasn't a great result for them. They lost 2-1 at home to Manchester United and then lost 4-1 away to Liverpool in their last Premier League game. Luton haven't played in 6 days, so they are fresher than Manchester City, and I am expecting them, because they've got no reason not to here, to go full strength, so they don't need to be rotating anybody. All they want to focus on is trying to stay in the Premier League, and that will of course be their main focus, but they've got no reason not to try and make it to the quarter-final and try and have a cup run. So they'll go with a strong team and they will try and knock Manchester City out of the competition, which is of course what is to be expected. So in terms of danger men, their front three very physical. Woodrow, Morris, Chong is what I'm expecting them to go for here at home under the lights. Won't be easy for Manchester City's defence, so we need to make sure that defensively we are on it. Adebayo, he may be out injured, may also be back for this game. It's a bit of a question mark over his availability. Andros Townsend could also start in this match. Looking towards midfield, Ross Barkley's been very much their standout central midfielder, so City are going to need runners to try and man-mark him out of the game. A lot of things work around Ross Barkley in midfield, so Manchester City are going to have to try and keep him quiet to try and cut off the supply to the attacker to try and get Luton pinned into their own half so we can try and create some opportunities. They do play with a 3 at the back or a 5 at the back, whichever way you want to look at the formation, so they're not going to look to try and give Manchester City too much room. They're going to look to be physical with City, so we're going to have to be clinical, just like we were at Kenilworth Road when we played Luton Town back in December when we won 2-1. Remember, we were behind just before half-time in that game, and it took second-half goals from Bernardo Silva and Jack Grealish to win that game for Manchester City, and with the amount of rotation expected from City, this could end up being a very big banana skin and being a very difficult game for Manchester City. Now, in terms of injury news for Luton, Thomas Lockyer, he's out. Nakamba, Anderson, they're both out as well. Lokonga, he's being assessed. Brown being assessed. Hashiaka being assessed as well. Doherty could return. He plays at left wing back for them. And potentially Adebayo, waiting for an update on him. I don't know what his availability is, but if he is fit, then he will be starting in this game. So I am expecting Luton to be playing a 3-4-2-1 formation with Kaminski starting in goal, Mengi, Osho and Bell starting as their 3 centre-backs. Ogbeni starting on the right wing with Doherty on the left wing if he is fit. Remember, it's a Kabore on loan at Luton Town. He cannot face us as he is on loan from Manchester City, so he is ineligible for this game. Into midfield, Lokonga, if he's fit, could be starting. If not, then I reckon it will be Mpanzu starting alongside Ross Barkley with Morris on one side, Chong on the other, Could be Andros Townsend potentially in for Chong, and Woodrow starting up top with Adebayo, if he is fit, starting in place of Woodrow. And it will look more like a front free striker type situation there, with the width being provided for by the wing-backs in Ogbene and Doherty, if he is ending up to be fit for this game. So, interesting matchup for this one. Luton are normally quite defensive, but they do like to score goals. They will have a pop at Manchester City, so I'm saying they're going to be defensive and they're going to make life difficult for City. There might be a little bit of space for us to work with. Maybe second half and tiring Luton out may be the way to go here. But this is a proper banana skin of a cup tie for Manchester City. Now, City, formed in 1894, led by manager Pep Guardiola, find ourselves second in the Premier League. We're 1 point behind Liverpool. We don't have to think about the Premier League now until the weekend, so it's nice to play a game and not have to think about the relentlessness of what the Premier League is going to be. So that makes a nice change. We did knock out Huddersfield at home in the third round by winning 5-0 at the Etihad, and we knocked out Tottenham Hotspur away in the fourth round, winning 1-0. We have won 15 of our last 17 games in all competitions. We're unbeaten in all 17 of them games as well. We did draw to Chelsea 3 games back at home, 1-1. We followed that up with back-to-back 1-0 wins at home against Brentford and in our last game away against Bournemouth as well. We do have dangers all over the pitch in terms of injury news. We've got Jack Grealish back. Not sure if he's going to start in this game or not. We'll have to wait and see about how fit he is. If it was up to me, I would want Jack Grealish available for the match against Liverpool at Anfield. So with that in mind, I'd try and get Jack Grealish as many minutes as possible. If he's not fit to start in this game, then bring him off the bench, give him 10 or 15 minutes here. Manchester Derby, if he's not fit to start there, give him another 15, 20 minutes, see how he responds, and hopefully get him ready to start against FC Copenhagen in the Champions League, and then he can have at least one half of football, maybe even 60 minutes of football under his belt and starting a game ahead of the match at Anfield. Josko Gvardiol, he's expected to be out for another week or two for Manchester City. So do expect some rotation. Pep will want to take this game seriously. He's already been complaining about the schedule again. He's going to be forced into rotating in this game. He knows that Manchester City have got the Manchester Derby at the weekend. We've got Champions League last 16 second leg match that we need to finish off at the Etihad as well coming up next week. We've got a match against Liverpool, potentially, depending on what happens here in City's match in the FA Cup, and Brighton's tomorrow, with what happens in that game as to whether we have Brighton away, and also having Arsenal at the end of March as well. Big games coming thick and fast for Manchester City, and if I was to look at the schedule that we've got over our next 6 games, I think this game is probably the least of our priorities, but we will try and do back-to-back trebles. It's never been done before. This game will be taken seriously. There will be rotation in place for City, so hopefully it's one of them games where we can grind once more and just get the job done. That's what we've got to be looking for. So with that in mind, going to pop up my team prediction now. I'm going with Stefan Ortega-Moreno to start for Manchester City. A strong defence in place. Kyle Walker captain in the side on the right-hand side. Nathan Ake going on the left-hand side, and Akanji going through the middle as our centre-back. And then further ahead of them going into midfield, I think it'll be Kovacic going into the Rodri role, and Rodri being given a rest. And I think Rico Lewis will be playing alongside him just to try and give Kovacic a little bit more support there. I can see Matheus Nunes starting this game, and I can see that being through the middle. So the bigger question here is, how do Manchester City set their attacking lineup for this game? Alvarez not starting in the last game. He will start in this game, I reckon, in place of Erling Haaland. So it means, what do we do then with the wide players? Because I can see Oscar Bobb starting. Will it be through the middle? Will it be on the left? Will it be on the right? Remains to be seen. And the same with Sergio Gomez, because he can play on the left and through the middle. So Man City may just want to alternate between them two. And then the bigger question comes, who's going to go on the right? Are you going to go with Bernardo Silva? Do you go with Phil Foden? Well, if it's up to me, I don't think I'd want either of these players. I've earmarked here De Bruyne, Rodri, Foden, Bernardo, Haaland, Stones, Diaz. These are the most important players to Manchester City. I don't really want to see any of these players on the pitch due to the risk. I want them to be fresh and ready to go for the Manchester Derby. I'd do a bit of rotation for the Champions League match as well. We're 3-1 up. Priority has to be the Premier League. So we've got squad depth there. It needs using. So I would like to see Man City do something that we've not seen yet. And I want us to trial it. I want to see how he does. Jeremy Doku, he likes to cut in on the left-hand side and get it onto his right foot. Let him utilise his pace. Get him on the right-hand side. See how he plays at right wing. We may already have a solution on the right wing already sorted in the form of Jeremy Doku, that when we get Grealish back, you could be having Doku on the right and Grealish on the left, not either or. So that's what I would go with, just to experiment and see how it goes. And if needed, you need to chuck on your Bernardos, your Fodens, your Haalands, your Rodris, your De Bruynes, etc. Do it in the second half, do it in the latter parts of this game, if needed. I think this is going to be a close game, guys. I'm going for a 2-1 victory for City once more. Makeshift midfield makes me think that Man City may look a bit disjointed, and I can see Luton punishing us at some point in the 90 minutes. So I think this will be both teams to score. I think they'll score. I reckon Alvarez scores first for Manchester City. I think we score pretty early in this game. I can see the physicality of Luton working into the second half, and someone like Morris finding an equaliser. And I'm going for City to go off the bench, bring on the big guns towards the end, and Man City to have enough that in the last 5 or 10 minutes of the game, we bring on big Erling Haaland and he goes up and grabs a winner for Manchester City. So I'm going for a 2-1 victory for City. Not a pretty game, but still a win and sending us into the quarter-finals. In terms of my betting tips, I reckon both teams to score 50+ booking points, physical game, and I'm going Alvarez to score any time. I will have my live watch along link out this afternoon for you guys to go and set your reminders for. I'll be live at 7:30 p.m. GMT on Tuesday night. Remember, Manchester City in action, and then it's Brighton on the Wednesday. So if Manchester City go out and Brighton go out in their away match against Wolves, then that match against Brighton just before the international break in March will take place. If either team go through, then that match will be moved to some point in April or May, and Manchester City and or Brighton will be playing in the quarterfinals on the 16th, 17th of March instead. So just keep your eyes on that. Next up for Luton Town, they've got Aston Villa at home on Saturday night on a 5:30 p.m. GMT kickoff time for City. Manchester Derby action on Sunday with a 3:30 p.m. GMT kickoff time at the Etihad Stadium on Sunday. Huge match, and it starts a huge march for Manchester City as well. March is a make or breaks month for Manchester City, and our make or break starts right now. This is a knockout game, no replays. One team must go through. Will it be Luton? Will it be Manchester City? We need to get the job done. So, as I said, do keep your eyes on that. In terms of the draw for the quarter-final, if City do go through, I presume it's going to be on Wednesday. Not found too many details on it. I presume it'll either be before the last game on the Wednesday, which is Liverpool against Southampton. It could either be before that match or after the match. Again, no details have been given, but at some point this week, there will be the quarter-final draw. So, should Manchester City go through, which I hope that we do, then we've got that to look forward to as well. So there we go. That has been the video. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy this video, do leave a thumbs up. 100 likes is the aim. Do let me know your thoughts as well in the comments below, including your score and team prediction for this game. Do subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details, they're in the description. Remember, use code JSGC10 on sign up. Get yourself £10 in free bets. You can go and enter some of the FA Cup pots available. So do go and check them out. Links and details there in the description. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow for the live watch along of this game. Oh, I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.